Ladies and gentlemen, the Try and Be Grown podcast is back with a very special guest in the building. I am your host, Damani Carter, and in the non-striped shirt today is my esteemed co-host, Mr. Byron Keaton. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Gragg is with us today.
What's up,
Will, how
people?
you
What's
doing?
up, people? Can I be a esteemed guest?
Yeah, you can be an esteemed guest. I said special, but I mean esteemed to work too.
I'm just like the way you be saying esteemed.
Okay. Well, shoot, we got a lot to get into today. Some of which was inspired and directly, thought of by you. So, are you ready to get like into the hard hitting stuff today?
Well,
We can get into
we
it.
can't get a background of who Will is.
All right.
So, Will, how long have I known you?
Yeah,
Since
we
were
go get a
about-
background of who Will is. I'm just
You just gonna skip over there with that? They don't know who Will is, bro. We've been on
I
Will for a
wasn't gonna
hot
skip
minute.
into it. I was just asking if
Go ahead then, bro. Go ahead. You
well,
just
shoot, bro. Just go ahead.
No,
Just
you
go
got
ahead
it, bro.
and ride
You
with
got
it.
it.
No, you got it.
You
got
want
it.
me the
Just go
intro,
ahead.
man? I'm gonna let you get your intro off. It just seemed like you.
I had to get the preliminary
forgot.
stuff out the way. We was gonna congratulate you for passing the bar, Black Esquire. We was gonna do that.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I really
salute
forgot
to you
about
for
it.
that, big time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
But
Go ahead and finish
you
the
actually
intro.
right. You do know Will. You have known Will longer, so I will go ahead and let you take over his introduction.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna get into all the bad stuff about Will and all the funny things we've had throughout our lives, but been knowing Will since about 4th, 5th grade. We done played baseball together. He was elite.
Yeah.
Hooped together.
Yeah.
Some kind of way he went from
bombed.
some kind of way Will went from a left-handed shooter to a right-handed shooter. I don't know how that happened. Then played football.
Hey,
We done done it all, bro.
That explains a lot.
But yeah, that's Will
Yeah,
Gragg
we
for
done
you.
been through it. I think Judge Keaton had something to do with that, man. The transition from left-handed to right-handed. I think he was trying to get you right.
Well, I've seen your jumper. If I was you, I wouldn't give nobody else credit because
All right, we ain't even gonna
nobody
talk
want to
about
be
it.
associated
I
with that.
beat you.
You right. You did foul me. You are right. Correct.
No wrestling street ball.
Yeah, whatever. But anyways, since we got that intro out the way, I'm with two of the most fervent Drake fans that I've ever come into contact with, and we have to talk about the album. We got to talk Certified Lover Boy. So we're a bit past the first impression phase. Your developed thoughts on the album now.
Oh, it's top tier. I gave it a solid 9. I think I text Byron and Brandon when that dropped. Oh, you was in the group message too.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon said 9.5. Byron was upwards with the same. I've heard no skips. I've heard, just things, You don't think it's no skips?
I think it's a couple. I'll go ahead and go out of my way to say this. Album of the year, without a doubt. And that's including the cold drop that I loved. Album of the year. I love the album. Front to back, amazing with a couple. Probably should have left those out. But that's to be expected with just about any album. The album was amazing.
I got probably.
I think it's solid. He gave us a feature.
Yeah. I got one skip and one I'm so on. It may grow on me over time, but one with Dirk, I wasn't a huge fan of it. And then the little Nigerian song,
it
didn't hit right. It didn't hit right. But other than that, I'm giving it a solid 8.8.
I'm surprised to hear you admit that because usually you
8.8.
That's lower than I'd give it, so I'm surprised.
But
I got it higher than 8.8.
I got a strict scale though. Like nothing can hit 10 and all that type stuff. I think it's right behind Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. What'd you say?
Okay.
So I got it 3 in his discography.
That's why I got it too, but I got it tied with I got it tied with If You're Reading This Is Too Late. I got it tied for 3rd.
Okay. So what's your top 2?
Same 2. Take Care and Nothing Was the Same in that order.
Okay. Yeah, see, I think it might be early. I'm saying it might be in my I give it 3. I'll give it 3 because I like views. I'm a views guy. I'm big on views.
Views really start hitting
I'm
after the
huge on
fact.
views.
Like at first, I was like, this all right. It's a good album, but then a year went by, 2 years went by. It ain't no skips on it. You got Redemption, all of them. Hey man, he was in his bag.
And no skips on it.
Nah, there's no skips on views. No
I don't
skips on
know.
views.
I can't think of one right now. I cannot think of one.
Where do you have money?
I'm saying View's not a bad album, but I think that though the phenomenon happened, right? We have a bunch of people that said, this is not a great album when it first came out, and it grew on a lot of people. But I think the fact that it grew on people allowed that, I think it kind of just flipped their mindsets a little bit too much, because it's still not his best album. But I don't, and I was high on it when it first came out, but I just don't think that it is in that same tier as a Nothing Was the Same, as a Take Care. And I still like If You're Reading This Is Too Late better than I do Views, just because I feel like the songs on there were just better.
But also, Damani, we got to realize you a hater.
How?
For some reason, you don't even like Child's
How?
Play. How you hate Child's Play?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
see the money. Come on now.
See, I was trying to keep it out. I was trying to keep it out the conversation, but bro, I hate that song so much.
What?
So much. It's terrible. Like, it's terrible. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing good about it.
Come on now, bro.
Hey, man.
I bet you remember the lines from it.
Not front to back, I don't. But I think that Child's Play to me is like a hot dog. Like a hot dog. Because it is widely respected and loved by a bunch of people despite having no value to anybody whatsoever. And I'm just looking at it and saying, why can't y'all see that this song is bad? Like the musical arrangement, terrible. The way that Drake tries to ride that musical arrangement, terrible. I would have been so much happier with the album as a whole if he would have left it out. Child's Play is
you might hear Child's Play in 20 years at a barbecue. You might hear it at a just a graduation ceremony, a gathering.
What was the first thing you said? I'm gonna see it. What was the first thing you said? I'm gonna hear it at. I'm gonna hear it at a barbecue with a hot dog in my hand. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Well, that's good music.
How do you have something against hot dogs?
I don't have something against I'm saying I like hot dogs, but I recognize, like, if I'm trying to put something substantive and even relatively good in my body, I'm gonna stay the heck away from a hot dog. And when you're talking about Child's Play as a good song, no, it's not good. There's nothing good about it. Nothing good about it.
Did you like Yellow?
I mean, Yellow was all right.
Okay, cool. See, I can see you just don't like those type of songs.
I mean, Yellow has like a consistent flow to it. I kind of like how, you can nod your head to Yellow. Mm-hmm. Child's Play is just everywhere, bro. Like, to me, it's one of the worst songs that Drake has ever made. I was really disappointed when I heard it.
That's where I don't get it, bro.
Right up there with Tootsie Slide and some of them others.
Blasphemy.
And I understand that I'm in a minority opinion on this, but I feel like I can point to exactly what I don't like about it, and that kind of takes me out of the general hater category, because I love Drake.
No,
and I just did not like Child's Play. Come on, dog.
Hey, okay,
if you Drake,
I do love.
So I got a question, Monty. After Drake dropped this album, can you honestly say that anyone is near him in our generation?
Near him or above him? Because I can do both.
Near.
Which one do you need?
I just want near.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How so? Can you explain to me how? Because I know you're going to say J. Cole, but the numbers don't say so, for one. And he dropped them. He done dropped some completely just trash albums. No. And I like J. Cole, but we can't just...
Oh, J. Cole dropped some completely trash albums?
For Your Eyes... Wait, well, not For Your Eyes. Was it for... Whichever one got folding clothes on it. We just got to talk about that. And you... Wait, time out. How do you don't like Child's Play, but you like folding clothes? Come on now. We got to be serious here, Damani.
What is the point of that? What's the point of that song, Byron? What's the
He's talking about he want to fold clothes for a woman. I want to fold clothes for you.
Oh, okay.
That's what you feel good.
So that's I understand that literalism is for the simple, but you're a lawyer now, so I would appreciate it if you would go to a different level and tell me what the song is actually about. Can you tell me what the song is actually about?
Damani, I heard it. I'm like, I don't want to listen to this again.
Oh, you heard it and didn't want to listen to it, but you heard all the stuff that he was talking about
What
before.
is the
You heard
song
all the
about, Damani?
it's about him transitioning to a different phase in his life and being a family man that is sitting at the house and actually trying to cater to his lady. Because if you look at what he was first putting out,
That I want to be a part of.
we can get into that later. But anyways, when you look at the first stuff that he was putting out and what the subject matter was, and we can look at Runaway and all of the like self-realization stuff that came out after that, and then you get to like a comfortable point where he's talking about just settling into his life and being a family man, and you don't understand the message. So if you miss the message, that's fine. I didn't
Damani.
see much of a message and why you got to fight with me a cheesecake. But if I missed the message, then just let me know.
Hey, Damani, put it like this.
I think fighting that cheesecake is much more relatable than.
Yeah. Who want to argue with that girl in public? Especially if it's at your favorite place where you go in every other week. And also, I gotta say this about J. Cole. If this is him growing up and maturing, I don't want him to be mature. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm just gonna keep it real. He need to be young and childish. Go back to what he used to rap
you
about.
were the same dude that was listening to Lil Pump in the car. So that doesn't even surprise me. That doesn't even surprise me that you feel that way. Because you are infantile in terms of your your wants in music. You don't want no kind of substance in the stuff that you listen to, man. That's why you like Child's Play. Because it's not a song with real substance. People hear why you got to fight with me at Cheesecake. I love to go there and be like, oh my gosh, I've been in a fight at the Cheesecake Factory before. I understand exactly what he's talking about.
Damani, I believe that you like songs that have like stories to them, that have like meaning. You like
meaning, without a doubt.
You don't have to have that in a song.
I'm well aware. I'm well aware. I got a whole bunch of stuff on my phone right now. Shoot, I'm trying to think. What was I listening to? You listen to Money Man?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't recognize a whole bunch of substance in the Money Man that I listen to, and of course I don't have a full knowledge of his discography, but I like Money Man just because I like his sound and I like the music he put out. It can be that simple. But if we talking about Child's Play, for example, where I don't like the sound and I don't like none of the stuff that they talking about, I'm not gonna like the song.
Aren't you a
Just
party
because
next
I
door
like
hater?
substance don't mean it's the only thing that I can appreciate.
Aren't you a party next door hater too?
I am not a hater. I'm not a big fan of PND. Not a big fan of PND. I've come around on a couple songs because I've been put on to some PND that I like, but there's a lot of PND that I don't like.
Why don't you like PND?
It's just I don't like. There's a lot of his stuff.
Wait, we have to talk about this, Byron, because that's one of my
I know
goats.
One of your heroes. Yeah, I know.
I would say.
You can tell in the stuff that he be talking about, but
what problem you got with Party, man?
It's not even that I got a problem. It's just if most of the stuff that he puts out, I'm not really like.
Well, first off, let me ask you, what type of R&B music do you listen to?
Like who are the? I'm trying to think of some contemporary. I listen to a lot of old R&B.
Like who?
Like who?
Yeah.
SWV.
Oh God.
What? hold on. What's wrong with SWV?
Dude, you don't know nothing about no SWV.
What? Are you serious?
Okay, SWV. Right. You say who else now?
I'm trying to think of. Does it have to be? Does it have to be contemporary people, or am I still naming old people?
That's all I'm at. I just asked you a simple question.
I got one question.
Ask.
When do you listen to SWV?
I listen to SWV whenever. Like I have multiple SWV songs on my phone. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I swear.
Hold
on.
And I better hear some lyrics recited.
I got you.
And don't play weak.
Yeah, see, you can't play weak.
That's the classic right here.
Nobody believes.
You see that?
Can I give everybody know that song, man?
Oh, yeah,
No, of
that
course
one
I
really
do.
don't count, bro.
So is there
Yeah,
anything
that
that I
don't
could
count.
play that everybody don't know?
But I'm saying, is it safe to say that you don't listen to a lot of R&B?
No, I do listen to a lot of R&B. That's kind of my point is that I can name people from the old and I can name people
You
from the
named
new.
SWV.
I know, but I listen to a lot, not even a lot, but I listen to a lot of artists that
Okay,
are
give us
old,
three.
and I
Give
listen
us
to
three.
a handful of artists that are
And
new
I asked you to name them, and you said
Just give us three.
SWV.
because I
Give us
didn't know
three.
if you were asking for the old ones or the new ones. But we can go to SWV, we can go to Usher, we can go to Ashanti, we can go Fantasia. Keisha Cole is one of the contemporary ones that I listen to a whole bunch. What?
Hey, Damani.
Now,
What?
You
Byron,
never listened to
all your
Fantasia,
years of
bro.
living with him,
Damani, I've
Yeah,
never
you're right.
heard
All
you
right.
listen to
Now,
Fantasia.
Fantasia was a bit of a stretch. I was just thinking about the songs that I've listened to recently, and "When I See You" was one of those. So I don't listen to Fantasia. I will give you that. I listen to like 2 Fantasia songs. That's
All
about it.
right.
But I do listen to Ashanti. I did listen to what's her name? Did I say
okay,
Usher
so you will
already?
be able to judge. You know good quality R&B music.
Oh, without a doubt. I grew up in an old people household, bro. I ain't got no choice.
Well, see, Party isn't gonna meet that standard though, because he's not like the old timers that you used to listening to. The things that we grew up on, he's not that.
And I can appreciate that difference. I can say that you're accurate in that.
Now you got some guys, Miguel, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, you got Chris Brown, who are like the old timers that we used to listening to, but
Mm-hmm.
The Weeknd and Party Next Door, and I mean Brent
But I love
Fayez,
the
he kind of
weekend though.
tiptoes that line of the new bad boy type of R&B guy.
Oh, without a doubt. But I see that's the thing is I don't like P&D that much, but I love the weekend and I love Brent.
So it's just personal with Party.
It's not personal. I just don't
It
like his
sound like
music
it,
that
bro.
much. It's not like I see him and I get mad. No, it's not personal.
Okay.
I will say, what's the Tan album he just put out, the one with the gold cover?
Party Mobile.
Yeah, see, it was a couple songs out there I like. Cause people it got on me about the fact that you should like Party, so I listened to it. It was a couple songs off it that I like. So if I'm moving into a kind of like neutral position, but I wouldn't say that he's like my guy or anything. The
Okay.
Weeknd is my guy. Brent's my guy.
Okay. Yeah, see, parties one for me when you talk about those type of guys. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to ask you, is it safe to say that Drake has passed Hove?
No, it's not even remotely safe to say that. And I think that anybody that says that is probably under the age of 30 for one, and doesn't really know what they're talking about for two. Because if we just talking about popularity, we can have popularity contests all day. But if you look at what rap is and the essence of the art, then
What
it's
is
not
rap?
really about popularity. It's about your ability to do the thing. And that ability side of it is going to go to Jay 10 times out of 10 before it even sweeps in Drake's direction. And
Now, Damani,
that's
what?
not to say anything bad about Drake. That's acknowledging the excellence of Jay-Z. And I will go
Yeah.
ahead and say that I have Jay-Z one all
Mm.
time. That's
And
that's my
Damani,
list. I have him
so I
one all
have
time.
multiple questions for you. One, what is rap? Two,
Okay.
I'm going to ask my first one. What is rap in your opinion? Go ahead. Then I'll come to my second one.
Yeah, let me do that.
It's an art form born out of what's the best way to say that to you is the question, because I know that you disagree with my perspective on it. But rap is an art form born out of a radical just nonconformity is what it is. It's
Dude,
it's beautiful. It really is. Like it is one of the most beautiful art forms on the face of the earth because not only of its origin, but because of all the other places that people have gone with it. But I think at certain points you have like aspects of rap where it has become it's become a very popular form of music, and I think that certain areas have become commercialized. And I think when the commercialized is directly in conflict with the essence, then you have to separate that commercial element and look at what you actually got here. Because the example I always use is Lil Pump. Lil Pump sucks, but he was totally to the appealing to that commercial side. So I think if you really just look at the essence of what rap is, then you have a better perspective of the thing as a whole. But never mind. I'll let you
I
get yours
disagree.
off before I
I
start
disagree,
talking
but I'm
about
not
you.
gonna get too deep in that.
Obviously
And
you do,
also,
but you're not a historian. Like,
wait. When
go
has
ahead.
Jay-Z ever
Go
been
ahead.
the number one rapper in the game? He don't when Biggie and Pac was out there, he wasn't the number one. Then you had Snoop come along and all them. 50 Cent had his run. You had Wayne with his run. Where is the years that we say
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z was undisputedly the best rapper? I just want to know. DMX?
There is no year where he is undisputed the best rapper. Look at his longevity. 17 studio albums over the course of first one comes out. I'm trying.
Well,
We'll
guess
just
what?
say
I'm gonna stop you right there.
roughly
Damani, I don't care then.
25 years.
If he's never been
Roughly
undisputedly
25
the
years.
best, he can't be the GOAT. If he ain't never been undisputedly
Yeah.
the best, he can't
What
be the
goat
GOAT.
do we have that?
But that's what I'm talking about. All you're talking about is commercial success. That's all you're talking about in terms of who is the best. If we're talking about whose music had the better longevity out of out of Jay-Z and all of the people that you're talking about, it's without a doubt Jay-Z. There's not a close
Over
second.
Biggie and Pac?
Maybe Eminem.
Biggie and Pac?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. You're definitely right about that. I thought you were past them.
I'm talking about all of it.
When
Yeah,
you get
okay,
into
that's what I'm saying,
when you get to
bro.
the DMXs, the 50 Cents, the Eminems, there's not a close second. The Biggie and Pac's longevity is definitely.
I think the
they got the
closest
nod over Jay-Z.
we have, is Hov and Wayne. I mean, it's not even.
Yeah, they have.
Forget
Hov and Lil
everybody
Wayne are
else.
close.
Is Hov and Wayne.
I would give you Lil Wayne as a close second. That was stupid of me to say because Lil Wayne is definitely
Depending on your geography on the map, though, I would say a lot of people would say Lil Wayne over Hov.
Yeah, and I think geography does have a lot to do with it. But the other thing about Biggie and Pac is that they died, so the longevity of their music, it kind of
Can't
has
be a
to be.
GOAT with only a couple albums for Biggie. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I agree that there was a definite evolution that could have happened with both of them, that they could have been the greatest rappers of all time. And I think if you want to talk about the greatest rappers to ever, not reach the age of 25, definitely, without a doubt. And for their time period, like astounding because, Pac was rapping that real and he was doing it on a global scale. And Biggie just as a musician in terms of flow, delivery, ridiculous. But
I was
as
saying,
Jay-Z
Damani, we didn't
evolved, he
really.
passed it.
Who are our goats? Like, we didn't really
Ours?
listen to who are our goats.
I'm so glad that you asked. And you already know the answer. The GOAT of my generation. I'm using my generation loosely because he was born in 1985. I arrived, is what he said. So the GOAT of
Well, I
this
mean,
generation is Jermaine Cole. There are a lot of people that are close, and there are a lot of GOATs. There are a lot of people that are in the conversation. But the greatest of our generation, Jermaine Cole, better known as J. Cole, without a doubt.
the money, that's
Without a doubt.
blasphemy.
How so?
It's Drake without a doubt. J.
Commercial
Cole doesn't
success.
have the type of impact as Drake
Impact.
has when he drops. I'm saying J. Cole has a nice rollout, but I read where Drake had the most streams of 2021 in a single day with Certified Lover Boy.
Yes, and
Nobody can do that.
he has such wide appeal. It's ridiculous, and it's not exclusively because of the reasons I'm about to name. The majority of the reason that he has such wide appeal is because he's really good at what he does and because he appeals to a whole bunch of people. But the other thing that you have to discuss in that is that he doesn't really alienate anybody with the things that he says and does. Does J. Cole alienate people with the things he says and does? Without a doubt. without a doubt. And I'd rather you do.
Make you better because you.
I'm not saying that it makes you better, but I'm saying if we're talking about the numbers, the numerical side of it, then you can understand how one is in that category that
I'm saying there's nobody you can't. There's no way that anybody can compete with Drake with numbers. There's not even a conversation.
But I'm telling you, I'm giving you another way to contextualize that is what I'm doing. Because one, this man went platinum with no features over and over and over
again.
You
want a cookie? That doesn't make you good. Like that doesn't make you better in my eyes.
How does that even make sense?
People forget about that after the first time you do it. Nobody cares that you did an album with no features. Nobody cares.
You might have forgot about it after the first time you did it, but I didn't. The album wasn't trash is what I'm trying to tell you. Just because you didn't like it don't mean it was trash. Just because you didn't like it don't mean it wasn't good. But because you're talking about folding clothes being trash, and I already told you that that's not true. That's your opinion, and you are entitled to it as wrong as you may be.
But Damani, also I got a question. You talk about J. Cole alienating people. Did he do that early in his career? He wasn't alienating people back then, and he still wasn't having the same success as Drake.
How early in his career are you talking about?
Sideline story.
Go listen to the warm up. Go listen to the warm up. Go listen to the come up and tell me when he was doing it.
I'm talking about the sideline story. People didn't know J. Cole back then. They didn't know him on the come up. Come on now, bro.
If he did it before he even put an album out, then what does that tell you?
Hey, Damani, put it like this. You know how people get canceled way after the fact? But they done tweeted some stuff 10 years ago, but nobody know about it. That's what those mixtapes were. Nobody knew about the stuff that was going on the come up. The people that would actually be offended by it or alienated by it, they didn't know. So how are we going to talk about the commercial success being impacted by those things and they don't know about it? They could be alienated, but they didn't know.
Byron, that's just the weirdest perspective that I'm not even going to describe it that way. But if you look at what an artist has done over the course of their career, right? And we go to the very beginning, and they're still doing the stuff then that they are doing now, then in terms of just how the artist puts their art out, there hasn't been a change. There has not been a singular change in the area that we're talking about. Right or wrong?
I'm not giving you an answer, bro.
All right, that's fine. Me, bro. It just don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense as a relevant criticism of J. Cole. That makes absolutely zero sense. None.
I'm just saying, bro.
Okay, it's another knock I have big gap. Jay-Z is he's not.
Nope.
He doesn't have
J. Cole, Tiny Gap, Drake.
Either. That's all. You don't hear many. Drake can give you a club banger. He can give you a song to think about. Your old lady.
And I agree with you there.
He can give you a sentimental song. He can.
And in terms of what you're saying about Drake, I don't necessarily agree with J. Cole. But since we're talking about range, Kristaps Porzingis is playing center right now, and he has more range than Shaq. Nikola Jokic definitely has more range than Shaq.
What area is J. Cole
is better than both of them put together? And putting a microphone in his hand or in front of him, like I got one in front of me right now, and rapping, that's where he's better. That's it. That's the whole.
I disagree.
The whole tweet.
I disagree.
That's fine. That's fine. You can disagree. He's better at rhyming words together. Better subject matter.
Nah, bro. Find me something in J. Cole's discography that matches up with any of Drake's time and location songs. Just them alone. I'm not even going to talk about Tuscan Leather, the rest. Just time and location. Come on now.
Are you serious?
Drake might have the best intros also.
He might have the best
by far.
All right. And I like Drake's intros, right? I like Drake's intros. But the intro that he just put out, 95 South. He just put out 95 South. And the Illuminati put together. I will take those over. Okay, I won't take 90.
Wrong.
I will not take 95 South over Tuscan Leather. I will not take 95 South over Tuscan Leather. But I would take the Illuminati and 95 South in a bar fight against any two Drake intros that you want, and they will win 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10.
Nope.
Neither one of them are better than Over My Dead Body.
Stop it. And that Drake has great intros. I still every time I talk about this, I gotta go, wow. I like Over My Dead Body. I really like Tuscan Leather. I really like Champagne Poetry. The first half of it, the beat I didn't love, but I mean I really like Champagne Poetry. And every time I have to weigh it against J. Cole, I feel bad in saying this, but J. Cole has the better intros. And It's just the truth.
95 South not better than Legend. I'm going to say it. It ain't better than Legend.
Byron, don't.
Stop.
No.
It's better than Legend?
No, you.
Yes, without a doubt. Yes.
Damani,
I'm not rolling with you, bro. I'm not rolling with you. I'm not doing it, bro.
Legend might be one of the better Drake intros that he's ever dropped.
I don't like it better than Champagne Poetry. I love the beat. I love that sample. I love that beat. But it's catchy. It's catchy. I take Over My Dead Body over Legend. Champagne
what
Poetry,
J. Cole intro is
Leather. It's catchy. I don't need a catchy.
Do you remember? Can you just recite?
I can recite Illuminati word for word.
You're in the minority.
I don't care if I'm. See, this is what I'm talking. You want to talk numbers? If you want to talk numbers, I'm not going to argue with you because there are actual numbers to look at. I don't argue stats. Drake is beating him in stats. But if we're talking substance, then I have an argument because the substance of the J. Cole discography, the whole thing, front to back, is beating the substance of the Drake discography, and that's the truth of it.
But
I'm sorry, what are you basing this?
But I mean, it's the truth. What are you basing on? What's the best substance on?
The essence of what is real in rap, Byron.
You don't have to have real rap to make it good. You don't have to be talking about real stuff. Some people just like a good song.
I'm not saying that they're not good songs, but I'm saying they're
J. Cole rapped about losing his virginity. Like what?
But that's still that song that he put out was dope though. And we can talk about like I'd say the more lighthearted songs that he put, because I mean he put out Workout. And that was a song that
many
fun
songs does J. Cole have?
How many what songs?
Fun. J. Cole doesn't make fun music.
Yes, he does. I mean, I see every time that you ask me specific questions, somehow I just I get everything jumping up. But I'm thinking you got Workout, Crooked Smile, what's it called? She Knows is definitely not a fun song. I don't know why I thought of that one.
Power Trip, I would say Power Trip, even though it's not talking about nothing fun.
Power Trip is a fun
song. I like Power Trip.
Power Trip is a fun song.
Okay, so that's 3 that you can name, and you're the biggest J. Cole fan I know.
Wet Dreams is a fun song.
No.
No. It's a song about fun stuff. Yeah, that is a fun song.
I'm straight on
a nervous, fun song. So I'm trying. I can get.
He probably got some stuff on Sideline Story.
What you were finna say, Byron?
I forgot.
Huh?
He probably got some on Sideline Story though.
I already said Workout.
Oh, I remember.
Can't get enough. There you go. It's 5
J. Cole's is you got to prepare to listen to J. Cole. You can't just, if you just trying to zone out from the word, you can't listen to J. Cole.
Listen to J. Cole.
Yeah,
you definitely don't have to. Yes, you can.
No, there's too much thinking going on. Sometimes I just want to listen to music that I can relax to.
So now that the certified lover boy stuff is out of the way, Will has a perspective that I'm very excited about, and I want to go ahead and get out of the way now that I am totally.
Do y'all think that women of our generation have an infatuation with independence?
No, because infatuation has a negative connotation to it, and I would never describe it that way. I think that independence is continually emphasized as something that both, men and women should strive for. But of course, being that, women have a historical gap in the independence conversation.
So you don't think you can be
There's
independent to a fault?
I think you can be. I think I'm independent to a fault. I think Byron is independent to a
No,
fault.
I'm
Okay, so
not.
why
think
not
No,
get
I'm
different?
not.
Why?
No, I'm not.
you are.
You can't.
But
Like, first of
anyways,
all, I don't
that's
believe you
just
can be independent
that's
to a
just my
fault.
thought.
You can't be
I
independent to a
definitely
fault.
think you can be independent to
Because
a
at the
fault.
end of the
I
day,
think you can be independent to a fault.
we are all in this world by ourselves. Technically. Everybody's going to die at different times. So we are in this world by yourself. So you have to be able to be self-sustaining completely. No matter if your significant other dies,
Yourself.
anybody dies. You have to be able to stand on your own. So no, you can't be independent to a fault, whether you male or female.
But being able to stand on your own, and at times choosing to stand on your own when it is a disadvantage to you, that's how you can be independent to a fault. There are times that you and I both will choose to stand on our own when it is to our own detriment. And that's all right, fine. I won't even include you in.
Stubbornness.
There's times that I'll do it. Stop. And I understand what it means to be independent to a fault. But I think when you say infatuated with independence, no, there's a need for independence. And for that reason, I don't feel like there's a problem with emphasizing independence
So
in
you want your lady
women,
to
men,
be
anybody in between.
100% independent?
Yes, 100%.
The
100%.
percentage part is what's troubling. But I want my lady to be independent. Yes.
If she's 100% independent, what does she need you for?
See, I don't want her to need me though.
I don't feel like
I don't want her to need me. I want her to want me.
So
It's more of a. I don't think. Yeah, I don't feel like I need someone to need me. Is how I think of it. At the end of the day, I should be there because you want me there.
Byron, she can
It's
want
a
a lot.
joy. Okay, but at the end of the day, she has to make a choice, and I want the choice to be me. If she need me there, it don't seem like she really enjoying it. It's like sink or swim.
I gotta disagree because if you need someone, I feel like you don't feel like you're living your best life without that person. I'm not the slogan your best life. I'm saying you are not the best person that you can be if you're not with this person.
but aren't we kind of
That's what I'm
muddying
saying need.
Okay, aren't we kind of muddying the waters of need and want with that definition though? Because if you need them for that particular purpose, and that purpose is not something that you actually like need, then that's really just a powerful want. Because if I need I'm trying to think of a good compare. If I need a PS5 to play video games, I don't necessarily need to play video games. So when I'm talking about when I'm saying independent, I think of independent as I can do everything that I can provide for myself. I can put a roof over my head. I can regulate my own emotional well-being. Those things I can do by myself. But adding a partner to my life, even if I need this person to be the best version of myself, that's really just a very powerful want that I have for that person.
Well, I feel like you can have all those things and be successful and all of that, but if you ain't sharing it with the person that mean the most to you, then all that means nothing. We all done been in those situations where you happy and you be like, dang, man, I wish such a, and it just, you feel like you missing something.
Yeah,
And
and that's
with your old lady, you should feel like you missing something if you ain't with her. And if you don't, then I don't think that's the old lady for you. Like you have to need, like she has to be in your life. Like I know players that's, man, I listen, this woman changed my life because I need her. Like you can have any woman you want, but this is the one she meets all that she does something different for me that I I want this one to be with me for the long haul. And you don't feel like that. You don't have an opinion like
I do. I mean, my opinion reflects yours in that aspect. We just describing it different ways because even that I would describe as just a really powerful the need comes in when you're talking about I need this person to be the best version of me. But when I think of like need, I'm thinking literally like I
survival.
need
Yeah,
food, I
die.
need water, I need a roof over my. Even though like I could
Well,
survive
no, we
homeless,
all
I'm thinking about
self-sufficient.
like
Yeah, no.
rawer needs, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking
no.
that you could be dependent on a person if without this person I don't have a house, without this person I don't have financial stability, without this person I don't have emotional stability. So those are the type of needs that I'm thinking about. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you in terms of saying like I would want to be with a person that I feel that way about, and hopefully that feels that way about me. If we're talking about the optimal situation, yeah.
And back to the point though, I just feel like today's women feel like they can be the man and like they can feel
Oh
all
Lord.
the emotional needs and by themselves. And I just don't think that that's healthy if you're trying to be in a relationship.
But is that the message being preached though? Is that it is kind of my question because I'm thinking the version of independence that is being emphasized is more what I'm talking about in terms of being able to provide for oneself, having and being like just complete without the need for another person to complete you.
But I'm saying how many times in our daily lives do we see a meme or see a tweet? I don't need nobody, or I don't need a man. Women saying, I don't need a man. I can do it on my own. Like, I know
Yeah.
that that's where I come from. That's rampant. It's an abundance of highly independent women.
Yeah.
But
And what's the
And
issue?
yeah,
do you
because
think that that's what you said, B?
because if a man say that, do you have a problem with it? I don't need a woman. I can do all this on my own. Because I know that's how I feel at the end of the day. Like I feel like I
I don't,
can.
yeah, I don't.
But if a woman say it, then it's a problem. That's what get me because I
Yeah.
feel I can be independent to like say, hey, I don't need nobody. I can survive for the most part. But if a woman say that, some people
But
find
I
those
can
things
say,
attractive.
yeah, no, we don't need nobody. Like I'm saying, we are men, we can handle it on our own, but you to be when you lay your head down at night, it's somebody you're thinking about, or it's something you think about before the last thought that you go through your head. And if you're alone, it's a void that you want to be filled. And so I feel like that's a void. That's when I say need. Like a man needs woman. Like a man is always going to need a woman. Like you can't give birth by yourself, so you're gonna need a woman, and vice versa. Like just to be the best form of you. I'm saying you can say I'm saying that's I don't know. It's a tricky subject.
So you
It's a tricky
saying
subject because
It
nobody
is a
wants to
tricky
need
subject.
nobody else, but you need you need somebody.
But see, that's where we
I'm
keep
saying, do
getting
you want to
tricky.
have kids? The money?
Yeah. I mean, I go back and forth. I don't know.
we
Well,
don't
most
need?
people want to have kids.
Hey,
They
we don't
I
can't
agree
need
do
with
it
any
that.
more
anymore.
Most
little
people.
Damani's running around now.
Yeah, nah, I'm
Oh, but
straight on some
we need more
demonic.
Byrons running around.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I thought.
yeah.
But
So when we
I just don't understand why in today's society or our generation that it's like women want to be dudes.
no
Like
see, there you go again with the you just be saying some inflammatory stuff, bro. No, that's not. I don't think that's what it is. I think
like
if you have
a
a
lot of
situation, if
go.
you have a situation where say go back to the 50s where the expectation was you find a dude that is going to provide for the family, wifey going to stay at home, take care of the kids, take care of the household, and that's the I don't even want to say the majority because I don't have the statistics, but that's way more common then than it is now.
Why?
But because there was just it was a first of all you're moving from a
Why was our grandparent? Why was our grandmas married, but our sisters not?
They were living in a much more patriarchal society. And as it has moved out of that and transitioned into more, I won't even say equality because there's still, gender gaps in a whole bunch of areas. But as we move into a more equitable situation for women, you want to be independent so that you do not have to deal with, being second class in any sense of the word. So when you're dealing with like the actualities of how you operationalize that and how you live your life, independence has got to be emphasized.
Okay. Well, I think I see what you're saying now. It's all starting to click. You're saying that as men, we typically don't preach independence, saying that we don't need nobody. We just go with the flow, and typically we say we need a significant other in general, like in our heads. But as women, on the other hand, if you go on Twitter, social media, they always saying, I don't need a man, no man, new car right here, all this type of stuff. And that's what you're saying that you have a problem with.
Well, I ain't gonna necessarily say I have a problem with it. I just feel like it's a big trend in our generation. And like our grandparents was married, and most of our friends, I ain't gonna say most of, a good number of our friends' parents aren't. So what happened?
Well, if we look at just I'll go back to independence, and then I kind of circle back to what I'm talking about. So when you talk about our grandparents' generation, our parents' generations, there are differences in how society is organized in terms of how much power women have. And as women become more empowered, there's a lot less, men deciding what's going to happen and women just going along with it. Women get to a greater extent than before, not to say that they weren't doing it before, but to a greater extent than before, get to exercise that power in the way that they live their lives. So with that, there's going to be friction. Like there's going to be just ways that, that women coming up is going to be not necessarily rebelled against, but it's going to cause friction. So when you're looking at the entirety of the situation, I think outside of the marriage statistics that you're talking about, you do have to look at the simple fact that women as a whole are in a better situation in terms of providing for and just being independent. So
Is that best for the family though? Are today's women better for their kids than our grandparents were?
I think that the way that
Yes
the
or
way
no,
that you
Damani?
answer that question, it kind of it depends on your perspective, because if you're talking about if you think that agreement is the best way to and just general peace is the way to get to a better place, then I disagree with you, because I think that women today, as a whole, not to say that that obviously they're great role models throughout um, our history as a species, but if we're looking at the independent woman who can tell her daughter, I did this, or whatever, and these were options that were previously, less available to us, but now there are more doors open for you. I think that is something better to shoot for than just a peaceful home life, if that makes any sense. And not to say that those are mutually exclusive, but I do think that that's the one to shoot for before you shoot for just peace.
Okay, I mean I agree with that, and I'm not gonna say that ain't nothing wrong with today's women. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with them. I'm
Eh,
just saying.
it sounds like you are, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that the family structure of our grandparents was better than it was today, and it's an abundance of single people in our generation that are having kids out of wedlock. And statistically, a kid with two parents in the household goes on to be substantially better in society than a person that grows up with one. And that's just
Okay. And to that, I'll say this. If we're looking at the barriers that you have now to, the two-parent home, just in terms of how society has changed over the last, say, 50 years, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can look at other than just women being independent.
Yeah, no, but yes, of course, you can talk about men. We could do the whole 360, but I thought that's just what we were speaking on specifically today.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think that women's independence is really a good lens to look through when you're
So
talking about
when
marriage
you
structure
deal
regular.
with today's women, not today's women, when you deal with today's woman, you don't feel like, well, just not even women, like today's relationships. Edit this part. All right, but now we finna go. All right, my bad. I'm sorry. I keep doing it. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you don't think that today when you talk about relationships, it's more so like you're it feel like you're competing with each other. Like it feel like
Mm-mm.
that men and women are like separated, or like want to see who can be the baddest or like the most player, or instead of just, I don't know. I ain't trying to sound like a simp, so you gotta cut this part out.
No, you're not saying like I think
Yeah.
we can roll off this. I think that if you look at like what women are doing now,
Mm,
and if it's any different than what dudes have been doing
mm,
for centuries in terms of independence, I don't see why it'd be something different if they were doing something outlandishly different
mm.
and worse than anything that men have ever done. But I don't see that. I don't see that. So I think if I look at something that women are doing and I say y'all ain't got no business doing this
But
or
who are
whatever,
we to say what women have no business doing? Though we can't say that
that's
as
kind of my
men.
point. That's kind of my point. So
But
I'm saying,
I can have an opinion on your independence, though. I feel like
how does that make any sense, Will? That don't make no. You totally contradicting yourself.
how
Because if you
I
say,
can have an opinion on what type of person I think that you are without having an opinion on what you do as a person.
how do you form that
I don't know
opinion
what.
if you don't have actions to go? I don't know what you talking about.
I'm
Because
saying, listen,
if I have actions, then that's kind of how I form my opinion of who you are. And it sounds like all you talking about is actions.
we don't
So
know women. We don't know all women, so we can't go and say what each woman are doing. But we can take a general group of women and see that and see
I'm
that.
not rolling. I'm not rolling.
Nah, don't roll yet. Don't roll yet. But I'm saying you can take a group of women and see, okay, they think this way. Okay, women think this way without saying what they do as a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever they do as an individual. Because I'm not
but
speaking of an individual.
this is the part that I think is tripping me up. You said that we
Let
have
us know
no
when we start
business.
rolling though.
What you mean when we start rolling?
He just said he ain't rolling yet.
No, he just meant that he wasn't taking
Agreeing.
your position on it. He wasn't agreeing
Oh,
with
okay,
you.
okay.
I wasn't agreeing.
But I'm
Oh,
saying, so you said we have no business
okay.
telling women or just having I think having opinions on what they should be doing, what they are doing, that type of
Yes,
stuff.
we don't have no. Yes, we can't say
But
anything
you
about
sitting here telling me that you can have that it makes sense for you to have an opinion on women's independence?
yes.
All right, I'll say that. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. No, man. Because having an
So we
opinion
can't
on
say
their
anything about
independence,
women.
I didn't say that we can't say anything. I don't think we should. I'm not saying nothing about it because I don't have really an issue with if I'm saying something about women. I feel like it's do what you do and don't let
Well, see, that's
people.
why we in the situation that we in today.
Oh my
That's
god.
why 50% of divorce. 80% of children are born out of wedlock.
But what is that? Does that have something to do with men too, though? You think that has something to do with men, baby?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so if we are just when I say we, I'm gonna use this loosely. I'm gonna talk about all men. I'm gonna take race and everything else out of it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But if men are in the traditionally like just advantageous position in terms of society, and women are not in the traditionally advantageous position, what sense does it make for us to look at the disadvantaged as they try to like move into a more advantageous position and tell them that you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be
We're
doing this?
not saying that you shouldn't be doing this, though. That's not what we're doing. I can have an opinion. Damani, I can judge you as I can say. I think Damani is a nice, cool dude without knowing what you do. That's just my prejudgment of you, right?
Okay. All right. Well, I'll say it differently. If we're saying that this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, because that's just a judgment. That's not me saying what you should
Stop
do.
saying bad, though. I've never said nothing is bad about a woman. I've never said that.
But what are you
And
saying
stop
about
giving
women?
that. I don't want you giving that notion out. Like
Okay.
I never said that being more independent is wrong.
Okay.
I just said that today's women have an infatuation with being independent. I never said anything was good or bad about a woman, or I never said what a woman should or shouldn't do at all.
And I'm glad that you said that for the record, and I will clear up the way that I speak about it from here on. But if you're saying that women are infatuated with independence, that you did say, you just said that, and you're saying that this contributes. I didn't say not the sole factor, not a major factor, but you said that it is a contributor to some of the issues that we have talked about. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm saying that if we look at the
But the
thing as a
specific
whole,
issue is just the family structure, though. That's the only thing I'm talking about. Like me wanting to marry a woman and then having the kids with her.
Okay. Well,
that's all that I'm talking about.
I ask you this: does the traditional family structure inherently disadvantage the woman?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Then that's really easy to talk about then, because I think that.
But it also limitates the man. It limitates each party.
How?
Because the man, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you just can't go and do whatever you want to do. You have limitations.
But you have someone to have your children and to do, like, just to abide as the second in your household while you are the top of your household.
No, I'm not saying. I never said top and bottom, though.
But I'm saying I'm not saying that you did. But I'm saying
my
if we're
woman can
talking
be
about the
independent
traditional,
for me, making more money than me, but she can still depend on me.
For what?
Like, I still want her to depend on. So you think marriage is just about
Damani
who makes more money, finances?
That is
no,
what Damani
I don't think.
thinks.
No,
yes.
I'm not talking.
Yes,
about
he does.
It's a big
no,
part.
We're talking about being dependent. What is she?
So you can't be with a woman that makes more money than you. You think that you are
I never said
not
that.
superior.
When did I say that? Byron, when did I say that? No, I didn't.
Like
I did see that
episode 10.
episode.
Episode 10 or something like that. You
I
said,
didn't say I couldn't.
Make,
I did not say I couldn't.
Because you
I
said
didn't say I couldn't.
You said if she makes more money than you, y'all have to live within your means instead of her means. That means you can't be with her.
I might have said that. I did not say I couldn't.
Yes,
though.
no, that's
you're not finna ascribe this to me. No, I didn't say that. But see, bro, we getting off topic. Y'all trying to
but this is just the discussion, though. This ain't getting off topic.
Yeah, it is getting off topic. But in terms of need, what does she have to need you for?
You said what?
What does she have to need you for? If she don't need you for food.
If my woman makes more money than me, what does she need me for? She need me to be a great father to her children. She needs me to be a leader in command.
You just said that she not second. So how is she?
What?
If you the leader in command, how is she not second?
I'm saying every woman wants a man to lead them.
No,
you can.
How is she not second? How is she not second if she following you?
What?
Hey, Will, they don't.
You said.
That's not what all women want, bro.
You said that you never said anything about her being
So
second
you
in
think a
command.
woman want to drag a man around?
I'm not. It don't
I think
have
they
to
just want
be
to be seen as
dragged. Why can't we
equals.
just walk hand in
Why-
hand, step in
Yeah,
step? Why can't we just be equals?
co-presidents or something like that.
Because when has that ever been done? No, you need somebody in charge. Whether it's, I'm saying, y'all discuss whose role that's gonna be. But I know plenty of men that make $40,000 and their woman make $80,000, but that's their house. That's that man's house, and you better not sit in his recliner. And that food gonna be there whenever he get done from work in that $40,000 job, and that $80,000 woman gonna be in there cooking and
Look,
cleaning.
hey, bro, you lucky this show not bigger because they was gonna assassinate you, boy. Oh my
Is that
god,
not the truth?
huh? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that
We
in
come from
terms,
small town Arkansas. I know plenty of men that's, you know what I'm saying,
but I'm
making the
saying,
normal amount of money and that's still their house.
but to make that the ideal in terms of saying like the leadership aspect that you're talking, it's okay to
But I'm
be
saying
like,
that's why I don't bring finances into it. Because
I
I
know.
know men that make less than their woman, but they are still in control.
And see, that control is a weird way to describe that because it's something different to say, like, even to describe somebody as the head of the household, I think is different than to say that he's
Well,
in
yeah, that's what I mean.
control.
Control. I'm saying head of household control. I don't get don't get too specific. Control. I'm
Okay,
saying when
not
I
too
say
literal.
control, I mean head of household. I'm saying
Okay.
he wears the pants. I'm not saying
No, here we go.
nobody
Wearing the pants
is
is
submissive,
control.
huh?
Wearing the pants is control, Will.
So nobody's supposed to wear the pants in the relationship.
Why can't y'all both be equal?
No, but what?
Yeah,
So on every team, they're not a head coach, and then it's assistants.
We're turning a marriage into a football team now?
I'm saying it's a president, and then there's a vice president. It has
Okay.
to be somebody in control in every situation for it to be successful.
So in a relationship, your woman has to that the most that she can shoot for is VP. Kamala is
No,
as
I'm
high
saying
as
she
she
can be
gets.
the president. I'm just saying if we both knowing our roles and whatever makes us happy, long as we're happy, that's what matters. If we're happy and that works for us, then that's what needs to be done. Whether it's her making the most money or her wearing the pants or
okay.
it's
Now,
wearing the
Will,
pants. You
do
just
you
can't
want
do
to?
that, Damani.
Will, do you want to wear the pants in your relationship personally?
I want to be happy. And if my woman wants to, if her wearing the pants makes her happy,
You cool with it?
that's fine. Yes.
Okay, so you don't
Okay.
care.
I don't care at all.
Okay,
Ask
okay.
the money that.
Damani, do you want to wear the pants?
Not really.
I don't believe that. I don't
See,
believe
That's
that at
yeah,
all. You
hey
just
bro.
nah.
said
So
about the house
hold on.
thing, bro.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Back up. That's a pride issue. That's something different. That's a pride
Well,
issue.
that's a lot of reason for divorce. Pride.
That's fine. I told you. I told you my thoughts on it. I didn't say that. I said I don't have like a vested interest in having kids at this point in my life. So I mean, if pride issues are gonna keep me out of it, fine. I'm we can talk about that till the cows come home. But in terms of me like submitting to the will of the group, that's me. That's usually what I do. The only time that I got mad at you and the other Negroids that lived in the house is because y'all would just be so egregiously ridiculous sometimes in terms of doing stuff. But when we had
bro.
to pick a restaurant, I was fine with going wherever, even though I hate Cracker Barrel with a passion. We would go to Cracker Barrel every once in a while just
You
because
in the
y'all wanted to
minority
go.
with that too.
You're right. I am a minority, and there's no reason that you should feel all right in a slave house going to Cracker Barrel. That's right.
Hey, listen,
We're both minorities,
listen,
and there is no reason that you should feel
listen,
happy going to that 1850s
listen.
Southern country store.
Grandpappy's pancakes.
My mama's
He
pancakes be
put his
hidden.
feet in them.
All right. You know where they got that recipe? I guarantee you slave hands were the first one to make them pancakes, and you be eating them
So what's
faithfully.
wrong with that? You know how many slave meals you done ate?
But that's when not necessarily. That's when other people have been cooking them not for profit most of the time. And if we had Williams Soul Food, that was black people making profit off that. Ain't no black people in the Cracker Barrel CEO's office. You know that for a fact. And if they are, they cleaning trash cans.
Well, so you are
That's
pro
messed up,
black
man.
on restaurants now.
I'm pro black on everything, but I'm saying if you are happy eating them 1850s country meals, you know exactly whose hands were making those, and you
Well, I'm
sitting there
pro
eating
black on
pancakes.
everything too, but I'm not gonna say that a restaurant is bad just because I think that they got their recipe from somebody else.
I'm not saying that that's
Hey,
not the
Damani, do you
reason I
eat
think
Aunt
that
Because it
they
could
Jemima?
be
really
black
bad.
people back cooking in Cracker Barrel.
Damani,
I
you eat
never
Aunt
used
Jemima?
Aunt Jemima or Mrs.
You
I
have
never
ate
used
that
Aunt
before.
Jemima or Mrs. Butterworth.
I don't believe that.
I got Griffins at my crib right now. I right hand to the man. That's what I had when we were living together. But I'm glad we got through the independence conversation. I don't know if we really got anywhere, but I'm glad
Did
that
we accomplish anything though? I
Oh,
just
I think
want
we
to know.
accomplished something. Your DMs is gonna be if any women watch this, your DMs is gonna be flooded with
Don't
people
put that
ready to
bad press
find
out
your
there.
address and shoot you. That's what's gonna come out of that.
I just
That's what's gonna
hope
come out of that.
that you didn't skewer their mind into misinterpreting what I'm saying.
I let you speak. I let you speak the whole time. Did
Women,
I? Did I not?
I love all people. I love all women. I just have an opinion on what I think about
Okay,
today's women.
and that's fine. And I'm glad we got the black part infused into the conversation somehow because you chose a topic which I think is just strange for a lot of reasons, but you wanted us to rank the what? What did you want us to rank? The top 5?
Top 5 black people of all time.
Okay. All right. It seems like a bit of a
Since
bit of a
we pro black on this show, so we're gonna rank the top 5 black people of all time.
So
And
what is
how
the
are we basing these
criteria?
rank? Yeah, you got it. Criteria. What's the criteria?
I mean, Byron, Damani, when y'all think of a good guy or a legend or whatever you want to call it, who comes to mind? Great black people. And what did they
I
accomplish
mean,
and what makes them that? I mean, we know we
you
all
want
have
to
local great black people that we see every
You talking
day,
about like
that we look
nationally
up
and
to every
globally?
day, like nationally and globally.
Okay. I know
Who
one
are
person. One
your
person
top?
I wish I could still have in there, but he's not in there no more. Is Will Smith. He had a fall from grace over the past year.
Oh,
You know, no man, what happened to him was dirty, bro.
why Will fall out? Why you take Will out? Because you big Fresh Prince.
Man, but August Alsina, we can't keep that in there.
Well,
We
that's
can't
not
keep
really.
that in.
He didn't have nothing to do with that.
No, but it took a shot of his pride and what we thought of
Okay,
Yeah.
Will.
so I'm I'm having trouble here. So we just gonna skip over all of the stuff, all of the people that have done great things for black people, and go straight to Will Smith.
I said
Is
he
that what
not
we're
in.
doing?
I said he not in my top 5 because of that.
But I'm saying, why was he even the first name that came to your mind, Byron?
Everybody know Will Smith. Of course, we got.
I don't care if everybody know him. And the top 5 black people, it should, even if
Of
we
course, we
go
got.
to the
Okay,
most
of course, we got
rudimentary
Martin
answers
Luther
like
King
MLK and
and Obama.
Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman. No, see, even those names got Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. All the people that was really doing, they got to get brought up before him.
Well, I'm saying, okay.
Trying to
Yeah,
think.
so I'm saying, who you got? Who you got? Give me. I'm saying we can throw some names out there. We can throw
I'm
some names out there
gonna put
and see
Obama in
what it.
mine for sure. I'm gonna put
Okay.
Obama. I'm gonna put MLK. And I'm gonna do Harriet Tubman. Them for sure. In my top
Reason.
5. Now the last 2 is where it get tricky. I'm gonna throw LeBron in
I
there.
did.
He been doing a lot for the community.
Okay. All right. Now, end the show, bro. End the show. End the show. Go outside and find the nearest
Hey, LeBron
electrical
might make my
wire
top
and
5
start
too.
licking.
Hey, bro.
LeBron might make my top
Think
5.
about how many kids he done put into college now.
I
Our
don't care,
primary
bro.
school,
Go
bro.
electrocute yourself.
Voting
Please go
rights.
electrocute yourself.
Ooh, hey.
He has been a substantial black figure in black love
Is
as
Kaepernick in
well.
there?
Just by having a black wife, that's all you got to do to be a substantial figure in black love.
Raised great black children.
Oh my God.
He
Is Kaepernick
never
in there?
had any allegations.
Kaepernick is definitely. I think Kaepernick got to go in there before Brian.
No, sir.
Yeah, tripping.
Anyway,
He
got an argument.
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
I'm not. This is not to minimize the stuff that black athletes have done, because there are definitely some substantial names to mention in that conversation. There's the Muhammad Ali's, Bron, Cap. There's a whole bunch of people. Tommy Smith and John Carlos. There's a whole bunch of people that belong in that conversation. But if we're talking about top 5 black people in this weirdo conversation, then I don't think that you could put any athletes in the top 5 Negroes of all time. That's I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
I gotta put I gotta put a contemporary person in there.
And your first thought is to go with the athlete?
Hey, bro, who else I'm throwing there?
Even if it's your favorite one.
I'm saying I'm putting Michael Jackson. I'm going Michael Jackson.
Is the most, how do you categorize just the top people?
I'm going Michael Jackson.
I can't.
As in my 5.
Why?
Just the top humans of all time. This is a really, really weird way to conceptualize anything. But
well, I mean, everything has rankings. So, I mean, I just feel like it's an opinion based. You can say whatever you want to say.
What do you mean
just
everything?
want to say,
are there other people that have had this conversation?
Who means the most to you? Who do you
think? 5 black people that mean the most to me. All right. Well, that's
not the question.
They're all going to be family members.
That's what Damani. Never mind.
He's saying not including family members. Clearly,
we just said. We just said that.
I said mine.
So you don't like Martin Luther King. You don't like Barack Obama. You don't like Jesus.
I like all of these people.
So why can't you name them?
Because when you're asking me to name the top people, it's strange, because when you talk about the top 5 shooting guards of all time, I know exactly what criteria that I'm dealing with there. If you want me to name the top 5 quarterbacks of all time,
you don't know who's a good person. You don't know how to determine a good person.
Personhood is pretty broad, don't you think?
I mean, it's the open-ended question. There's no right or wrong answer.
All right, well, there's no right or wrong answer, and I guess let's put LeBron in there. Matter of fact, put LeBron, Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben.
Come on,
they were all very notable black people.
They
were all very notable black people. They were very notable black people.
Like what?
Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben were household names, just like LeBron. So let's just go ahead and put the 3 of them.
You said you've never used Aunt Jemima, but you.
Are you gonna throw them in the top 5?
Because this criteria is strange. But if I have to name the most influential black people ever, then,
that's the question.
Then my top 5 goes a little bit different. Influential is different than personal.
Well, Damani, however you want to influential top, that's what I mean.
Okay, most influential. Then I'll go Harriet Tubman, though she, in terms of personhood, is in a different conversation. I wouldn't say that she was highly influential. Well, not as much as the other people that I put on the list. So I'll go Martin Luther King. This is all right. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because I have to condense this into the short period of time that he was alive. But if we're going like relative influence to that short period of time, he was killed at 21. But I got to put Fred Hampton in my top 5. Got to put Fred Hampton in my top 5. But I don't know where. I'll put him somewhere lower. I'll go Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Barack Obama, Marcus Garvey, Fred Hampton, most influential. And that's probably that's a really preliminary list that doesn't account for all of the people that are probably deserving of being in that spot. But that's the top 5 as of now. And I will go ahead and say again, this is a really weird question.
So I have a question for you, Damani. Is the civil rights era the time with the most influential black people?
Like, yeah, that's all I want to know.
Predominantly, I would say, because you have to look at the combination of substance and I'd say influence is one thing, but to influence a nation to change in such a substantial way, I think that's something that has to be weighed because Michael Jackson highly influential, but getting a country music fan to listen to pop is not quite as influential as getting a country or a group of people to move differently.
Okay.
If you feel what
I
I'm
see what you're
saying?
saying.
I don't think that you can give credit to one specific person.
I wouldn't give credit exclusively to them in any of the stuff that they did. If you want to look at the Panthers as a whole versus Fred Hampton, I think that he was a very influential member of that group. I think that Martin Luther King was a very influential figure in a civil rights movement that involved a whole bunch of influential people and at the black community as a whole. But if we're looking at their particular effect on the masses, then they were highly influential people.
Well, I mean, like you said, that is a difficult question that you can just give. It's open ended.
Yeah.
But for me, I would go. I'm going Obama. I'm going Braun. I'm going for me. Well, see, all mine gonna be sports figures, so I really just can't say for me.
But I don't think that's
And then I
bad.
just don't want to give civil rights.
But I don't see how that's it's touching a lot of people, but in terms of influence, you to say this is my favorite basketball player versus
But I'm saying it's
and
not just him being a basketball player; it's influence. Like
I know I'm
LeBron has
saying
motivated people to like not do bad things, like choose different paths in life, like a bunch of kids. And I'm sure, like a lot of people, but I'm just saying, in today's world, LeBron maybe impacts more kids than a Fred Hampton.
um okay, so that's are you aware of what the Panthers free breakfast program look like?
Yes, but I'm
Okay,
saying
so look
that's
at
not just. It was listen though. LeBron is influencing more than black people.
I'm not and I agree with you there, but just
That's all I'm saying.
look at how radically different it is to have a community that is not only like directly looking out for its children, but is facilitating like their personal well-being, their education, and there's a difference between like influencing them
But
and
like you said,
actually
the
taking an
Panther Party,
instrumental
that's the
role.
Panther Party, though. I'm talking about a.
Brian doesn't do anything by himself other than like make people want to be better. But if that's
You
all
give
you're
them
talking
hope,
about,
though. You give them hope.
man, I'm
That
not
could be
trying to
the
hear
biggest
that.
thing.
No,
That's
come on, man. No. If we're talking about somebody even participated in a group that had a direct impact versus one that just gave people hope, no, I will give you the I Promise School,
so. It's about. I'm saying you just
More than a
can't go
vote?
with accomplishments, though. Like you just can't.
yes, he's had direct impacts in a lot of realms. But if you look specifically at what the party had, how the party impacted kids in a whole bunch of black communities across
Yeah,
the United States, no, I definitely cannot give that to Braun. And that's not a knock on Braun, but that's saying that this thing was more substantial than his. Not to say that his is
I
not substantial.
think that it's a lot of kids that choose. Okay, I'm gonna play basketball through high school. Like I want to be like LeBron, and don't choose crime, and don't choose like drugs and stuff like that.
But that's kind of like that hope.
That's not something that you can see on paper, though. That's what I'm saying. And I know that has an impact in the black community, just speaking on the black community. But he has an effect worldwide.
I very much understand that. But if we're looking at the direct impact versus just stuff like hope, stuff like inspiration, that type of stuff, I think that the direct impact always has to take precedence, and by a long shot, over stuff like that when you're talking about influence, because it's something different to nudge somebody in a different direction, but you're talking about actually giving people the tools necessary to facilitate a better situation. And in some cases, just directly providing a better situation.
But they weren't the first to do that. And Fred Hampton wasn't the
I'm
first
not
to
saying
do
that
it.
they
And he didn't do it on the biggest scale, though. So it's people that done his job on a higher level than he did.
Like who?
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, fighting for the rights of the freedom of black people.
I'm not talking about fighting for the free. I was literally just talking about the children aspect of it. So when I'm talking about the Panthers program in terms of free breakfast, there was an educational aspect of that. There was a nutritional aspect of that in areas that were not even necessarily poverty stricken, but you're talking about like real food deserts where food was inaccessible for a whole lot of people, not only for monetary reasons, but for reasons of just their lack of a like workable ecosystem of stuff in their community. So you have a definite and direct impact on the youth that you are facilitating like a better situation for. And I'm saying there's a difference between doing that and inspiring people and giving them hope. There is a number.
But which one is more? You can't say which one is more significant though. If I'm giving a lot of kids hope, and you're giving a number of kids this, who's to say which one is more impactful though? That's what I'm saying. You can't say.
I am to say which is more impactful because I can understand how not even necessarily easy it is to give and to take away hope. If I have something tangible that is being done, that's a lot different than something that is, psychological and optional. There's something tangible being done versus something that is just having a mind effect.
But I'm saying, what about once that tangible thing is gone? That hope never leaves. LeBron is giving kids hope every day.
So you're saying that the hope is the thing that never leaves, but the tangible thing can leave? No. The hope can leave just as easily as it comes. The tangible thing, it actually has to be.
When did you ever stop believing in Kobe?
When did I ever stop believing in him?
When did Kobe stop giving you hope?
He's not
when did
Santa
Kobe
Claus.
Stop giving you hope?
He inspired me, but I wouldn't say that Kobe just gave me hope.
When did he stop inspiring you?
Never. He inspires me to this day.
It's never ending. It's never ending. That's what I'm saying. It's never ending. That lasts longer than any tangible thing, though, that you would get. That's all I'm saying.
One meal if or we're 10 meals versus forever. That's what Will's saying.
Forever.
What?
He's saying like say you get 10 meals compared to you forever being inspired by the things. And that's stuff you're going to pass down about the Mamba mentality to your kids. This is what Will's saying.
Okay. So
that's all I'm saying.
And to that, I'd say this. So if we're talking about how that nutrition contributes to educational and not even let's get out of the education, how that contributes to growth and well-being of a human person. So if we're talking about the essentials and how those kids needed those nutrients to just grow into functioning humans, then how do you compare that with inspiration? Because inspiration, it comes and it goes. I don't use Kobe every day like I use food. I don't use Kobe every day like I use food.
But is Fred Hampton the only reason that you're eating?
I'm not saying that Fred Hampton is the only reason that I'm eating, nor that those children were eating. I'm saying that he was instrumental in giving them what they needed for a substantial period of time. That's different.
He didn't run out.
No, he was killed. What are you talking about?
This is a wild debate.
Nobody's talking about
This is the word. This is what I'm saying. This is the weirdest topic of conversation, and we have taken it to somewhere that's even stranger. Somehow
Because you talking
we have
about
taken it
Fred
to a
Hampton,
stranger
bro.
location.
Huh?
We're debating. We're not debating LeBron and Jordan anymore. We're debating LeBron and Fred Hampton, and you have somehow taken it here.
No, I didn't. You brought up Fred Hampton. I said name influential black people, and you
I
couldn't do
never
it.
wanted to make it a debate between him and Brian because I don't
I
think there is
never
a
did
debate.
either.
All right, bro.
Oh, this is
I never
hilarious.
did either.
This is
Okay,
hilarious.
now
Y'all get your top 5 black people, and we are off. I can't do this one no more. You get your top 5 black people, and then Byron give me your top 5. I gave my top 5 already.
You got it at me, Will. Okay. I'm going Bron, MLK. Who else did I say?
People.
Harriet Tubman. Because we still talk about the stuff that they do today. So I got to put Underground Railroad, Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, LeBron, I Promise School, More Than a Vote, all that. 4, I'm going to go with. This is tough. Obama 4. And then 5, I'm going different. I'm going to say Kaepernick because he sparked.
Afterthought. We got Brown in there for sure, though.
Wait. 5 is Kaepernick because he sparked the whole entire civil rights movement in the 2000s era that had kind of stopped. So, yeah.
He sparked it?
He brought more light to it. Yeah. Sparked is the correct word. Yeah, sparked is the correct word. Yeah, sparked. He sparked it.
You got to look at. No, you have to look at Michael Brown before that. You definitely have to look at Michael Brown before that. Kaepernick didn't take a knee until we were already in college, bro.
But he sparked it to where it got the national attention at such a large scale. Before Kaepernick, it wasn't that. Everybody was
what? Stop. No. Stop. No, Byron.
Hey, Damani.
No, I'm not even going to let you do that.
Damani, let me get mine out. When Kaepernick started, it went to a whole different level about why he was doing this and police brutality at such a large scale. Yes, we all knew about the Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, and all that, but it wasn't at such a large scale in which people, such as the NFL and things like that, are now getting involved. That was not happening. NFL, NBA, none of that stuff.
You can talk about it in sports. That's it. You can talk about it in sports. That's it. You can talk about him sparking it in sports.
I think it's only in sports.
No, that was huge national.
Yeah, it was big
nation and worldwide protest sparked because of Michael Brown being.
Yeah, okay.
That is okay.
So this is what I'm saying.
Erasure.
When I say with sports, that means it's crossing racial barriers. Nope, I'm saying it cross racial barriers once you bring it into sports.
It wasn't just us that was angry about Ferguson, bro. I'm telling you. You have to look at the entirety of just the...
Yeah. I think Kaepernick just put it, like you said, in the sports eye, and he was the first to do that, but it was protests and debates going on. Like you said, Trayvon.
It was protests and debates
going on. Mike Brown, all those guys.
But I think it just put it in a new light once he started.
You're nuts, bro. You are.
Okay. All right, my top 5. I'm gonna go MLK. I'm gonna go Obama. I'm gonna go Braun. I'm gonna go Michael Jackson, and I'm gonna go. I go Michael Jordan.
Okay, so a lot of sports figures on both of your list, and I'm
taking cap out for Muhammad Ali. I took cap out for Muhammad Ali.
I can't stand y'all, bro. I cannot stand y'all. Well, this has been a very eventful episode, and Will has given us a lot of perspective that I don't know if it's good or bad, but he's given us a lot of perspective. That is for sure. He's given us a lot of his own thoughts. We very much appreciate you. If you was in person, I'd dap you up, and I'm gonna have to
appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Man, hey, we've been wanting to have you on here for a while because we know that you was gonna come in here and say all the stuff that everybody else afraid to say.
Stir up the pot.
What you gonna get off your chest.
He ready to stir up the pot.
That is a pot stirrer for sure.
That's what we came to do, man. I appreciate y'all boys having me, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all wherever you at rocking with us. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. My man KT is playing us out right now. You should have already heard about him, but if you haven't, go check him out. Show Thief on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your music, man. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
When that pressure get applied, is you gon' pass or you gon' shoot? I stood tall. When you make it through the struggle and the pain, do you get your umbrella off the chance that it might rain? I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, you could try to count me out, but you ain't gon' ever hold me down. When I see my people going through it, I put the blame on me. And I see my homie lose his mind, but I gave him his first taste of lean. I ain't gon' lie, that really hurt me, but I had to close the curtains. And one thing I learned on Lion King is everybody gotta eat. Never tell a party, let me get a whole piece. And nah, little homie, can't get that from me. You play football, you got a bright future, you supposed to see you on the TV. And I said, that's true, and I'm gon' do it, but I really gotta make something happen. And I probably could've asked my family for something, but instead I started hitting licks with daddy. I ain't gon' lie, that turned me to a savage. Really living life like a bandit. And then Murph told me, keep your head on, man, don't do nothing reckless. But now I'm older now, I'm a grown man. Go to church every Sunday, I'm a praying man. You ain't gonna never see me fall, I'm always standing. One thing I do is stick to the plan. When you make it through the struggle, you the truth. When that pressure get up.